What's up guys, welcome back to another map setups video. Today we're going to be checking off Clubhouse from the list. We'll go ahead and get right into the operators that you guys are going to be needing for second floor. So the 5 stack will consist of Smoke, Valk, Azami, Cade, and Thorn. And so we're going to go ahead and get started with Smoke. Now Smoke's going to want to start off with blowing out these holes in the soft wall here. He's going to be holding down this position from on top of the table for pretty much the entire round. He's going to want to make a clear sight onto that breach wall in case they get into it so that he can pretty much deny their entry. He's going to have his smoke canisters that he can throw at them as well in case they do get in. Pretty much he's just anti-entry and it's a really good position for him to hold. So that's going to be his objective here. Now he's also going to want to make a rotate hole from garage into CCTV so that someone can hold garage safely and get back into objective. His first barbed wire is going to want to go on garage stairs, and then his second barbed wire is going to go on to red stairs. His last responsibility is just going to be making the rotate from cash over to red, and now we're going to be moving on to Valkyrie. Now Valk's first cam I would like to place into construction on top of this light right here. I don't think I've ever had an attacker ever find this cam. It's really overpowered, you can really hardly see it at all. So that will be the first placement. The second one I'll throw over onto these pipes over here. This gives me a clear shot onto the soft walls of garage, and then also onto the side door on the right here, and then also the side door on the left so you can see outside of garage. Now whoever's holding garage will have a clear sight onto here so they can just see where they are and then peek, which is a common spot where attackers will push from. And then my third cam will go onto this light. It's not as good as the one in construction, but it gets the job done, and it looks down onto bottom red stairs, which is another common spot for attackers to push up from. So just a quick little recap of where all of the cams look. This one looks at bottom red like how I just said. This one will look into garage so that whoever's holding garage can hold this safely, and then the third cam is in construction like so. Now we'll move on to Azami. Now as Azami, I like to hold down garage, so I'll use that Valk cam that I was just talking about that is placed into garage. I'll also use the bottom red cam so I can pretty much see everywhere around me. I'll place my first Azami like so, and then my second one to the right of it, so it creates this little peeking hole where I can see down onto garage door, and it's just a really tiny pixel peek. The attackers will hardly be able to see you. You'll be able to blend in to the Kiba barriers, and it's a pretty safe peek where you don't really have to worry too much about getting picked off. Now we'll move on to Cade. Cade doesn't really have much of a special purpose here, but he is of course really important. He's going to want to reinforce this main soft wall here that looks out to outside, and he's going to want to place his Cade up high onto the reinforcement. Normally I'll place it right about here. Now Bandit's also a good alternative here if Cade gets banned. However, if someone's underneath, they can just shoot here or Ash charge it or something like that and destroy the bandits. So Cade should be first priority if he is available. Now secondly, Cade is going to want to reinforce this soft wall in between cash and construction, and then thirdly he's going to want to reinforce this wall from construction that looks out to outside. Now I'll move on to Thorn, who's also anti-entry. I'll place my first one on this window here that is in CCTV, a really common spot that attackers will normally push from and try to hold an angle on you. And then I'll place my second one in construction over here, and then my third one I will put on the red stairs like so. Pretty much the point of these thorns are just so that the defenders can be alerted when there's a attacker pushing up one of these vital points, and then of course that mixed in with Valk and Smoke, it's just really effective. Now pretty much I'd say the most important part of Thorn is having this deployable shield. This is probably the most important spot that is going to be held by a defender on this objective here. They place it here and they can really hold this breach down, and of course that comboed with Smoke holding the table and cash next to me, it pretty much makes this completely unfeasible for any attacker to push from. And then of course you can switch around with Smoke if you want to hold this angle instead, and Smoke holds the deployable shield, and that's good as well. Now we'll move on to basement. We're going to have Azami, Pulse, Castle, Mozzie, and Cade on basement. And so we will get started off with Azami, who's pretty much the backbone of this entire objective. You're going to want to make a rotate hole with your impact grenade like so. And then your first Kiba barrier I'll place on the first box right around here. Now having these barriers are going to give the defenders a huge advantage. Now blue is pretty much the main spot that attackers will push from when it comes to this basement objective, which is where I'm peeking now. So having these Kiba barriers in place really just give a huge advantage to the defenders in gunfights. You can, quick peek like this. Having Azami being able to manipulate the map like how I'm showing you now, manipulate the objective, is just super important, and it goes to show you how overpowered this operator really is. So it gives you a whole lot of freedom, and it gives you a whole lot of protection when it comes to gunfights. Now we'll move on to Pulse. Now Pulse is going to pretty much be denying any vertical on this map, but he doesn't have a whole lot to really set up during the preparation phase. So I would like to go and pretty much reinforce these dirt soft walls and then not have to worry about it for the rest of the round. So, and then I'll also get these blue soft walls as well. Like I said, you don't really have much else to do, but then when the round starts, I'm going to want to make sure that there are no attackers coming into kitchen. A really common thing that they'll do, they'll buck, they'll sledge the soft wall, or they'll try to get the hatch here. So as long as you're Pulse, you can see where they are. You can deny that vertical, deny that advantage to the attackers using Pulse. And then you're also going to want to blow these holes out right here in the floor, or in the wall rather, and this is pretty much there, so you can use your cardiac sensor and you can see right through this wall when attackers are coming down the main stairs, and you can time it up well and pretty much peek them like so with your shotgun, which is also really good at long range. It's a good long range shotgun, so you can knock them down. If they try to push over to Moto, you also can knock them down from there. Now I'll move over to the other FBI operator, which is Castle. Really nothing special to Castle. I've said it in past videos. He's really just all around probably one of the better defenders you can really have. He really slows down the play. In a game that really gets sped up a whole lot, Castle really just slows it down. And so, it's real simple. You want to place the Castle barricades on vital entry points for attackers. So we'll place one here in dirt, and then we'll move over to blue and we'll place a proximity alarm here as well. Proximity alarm is also really good when used correctly. We'll place another one on another Castle barricade on the double door at bottom main. We'll place another one on the supply door that heads into lounge, and then our last one will go on blue door like so to give us a little extra protection in the objective. Now Mozzie is our main roamer for this objective, also our main source of intel, so you don't really want to waste these pests. You want to place them in good spots that will get drones, and then you also want to reinforce the hatches since you don't have anything else to do during the preparation phase. Now I'll move over to Cade, another basic operator, but really important to protect these hatches, to protect vertical on this map. Now once Mozzie reinforces this hatch, you want to place your Cade on the barricade like so that the attackers cannot destroy it. Now you're going to want to make sure that you defend this. Like I said, Pulse will be playing underneath of this, so he will be able to use his cardiac sensor and see where they are, and then you can also, if they're trying to Maverick trick it, you'll be able to see that Maverick is on top of the hatch, and you'll be able to use your C4 in that situation as well. Now you also have 2 hatches left, but only 1 Electroclaw. Now I've found, well actually I know that attackers will go for the hatch in blue more often than the one in Moto, and this is because the one in blue is in stock and it's a closed off room. It's much easier to hold down, whereas the hatch that leads into Moto is in bar, which is a very open area, very easy to flank, so they really don't want to have to deal with that. So I will normally put my second extra Electroclaw on the hatch in blue rather than the one in Moto. So that'll pretty much do it. Hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and press the playlist that's on screen now. I have a whole bunch of other Rainbow Six Siege tips, site setups, map callouts, things like that. I think you'll really enjoy it. If you guys have a specific map you guys want to see next, please let me know. But besides for that, I'll see you guys later.